Sporty commuters, what are those actually? They are your regular workhorses that look lot better than the 110 or 125cc motorcycles, and mainly they come under a budget of rupees lakh, which is actually the most preferred budget by the buyers in this time. So now we have two very popular sporty commuters over here, the 2019 Suzuki Gixxer and the new Yamaha FZ V3. So here we are in this video to find out how both of the bikes fare against each other and the answer to which one is better. So let me brief you about the design bits of the 2019 Suzuki Gixxer, which I personally like over here. Starting off, it gets a new hexagonal shaped full LED headlamp, which I think is a bit inspired from the KTM. Further, it gets louder and more sharper tank shrouds over here with a more sculpted fuel tank. The exhaust muffler is also a bit revised, but it remains the same setup, dual exhaust tips. Also, it gets a rear tire hugger over here. Further, you get a revised seating arrangement with step-up split seats and a split grab rail over here. The handlebar has been lower placed for a mildly aggressive riding position, but it still remains a काफी relaxed position. Further, the fully digital instrument console is the same, but it mainly tells us what gear I am riding the motorcycle, which is not on the FZ V3. So if I have to say two words about the 2019 Suzuki Gixxer, it's smart and sleek. So now let's move on to the Yamaha FZ V3. Yamaha has also given a comprehensive makeover to the FZ V3. So now you get a sharper fuel tank, which is a bit bulkier, I guess. The tank shroud is a bit sharper also, and also you get this chrome embellishment over here with 4 air vents on both the sides. Further, the seating arrangement is a single seat with a bit step up, which is also comfortable. The exhaust muffler is also revised over here, and the grab rail is joint unlike the one on the 2019 Gixxer. The handlebars of the FZ V3 has always been lower placed for the slightly aggressive riding position. Also, the fully digital instrument console over here is revised and it misses out on the gear indicator, which is important to me, I guess. Lastly, it gets new LED headlamps over here, which it looks somewhat like a robotic face and is, I guess, is okay. Starting off with the performance, you got machines that are just going up to 110 kilometers per hour or so, but are also giving decent mileage. Talking about the Gixxer first, just like its earlier version, this one is also an easygoing bike. The acceleration is a bit dull like earlier, and since being lighter than the FZ V3, it takes lesser time to reach considerable speeds. But the low end grunt is somewhat better than the FZ, making it good for its primary purpose. All conclusive, Gixxer is not shy of reaching triple digit speeds, but you gotta be patient with it. Since it is lighter, I found the Gixxer to be nimbler to handle and quite agile as well. So cuts and overtakes were better with this bike. The suspension tuning of both of them is likewise, but the ride quality here is not up to the mark. Talking of the brakes, the front and rear disc brakes with single ABS have a good bite, and I confidently could come down from 80 to 0 with sudden brakes. Moving on to the FZ, despite producing the lowest power figures in this segment, it still manages to impress me. The biggest thing is that the FZ feels more exciting to ride than the Gixxer. The top speed is definitely lower than the Gixxer, and so is the acceleration speed. Even here, you gotta be patient while crossing considerable speeds. While Gixxer excels in the low end grunt, the FZ shows its skill in the mid-range where it picks up without any argument. Actually, that's what makes the bike more fun to ride.
Another thing added is that the FZV3 is filled with juice at the top end range, but the Gixxer feels out of breath towards the end. Yes, in terms of handling, I would go with the former, but hey, even the FZ handles really well. The bite of the front brake here is not up to the mark, so I ended up using the rear brake more often, a typical Indian thing. A bit dangerous as well. The suspension of the FZ feels more supple and welcoming, but still bottoms out on big potholes.
So as you saw, we extensively tested both of the bikes through our daily commuting. It was actually a very difficult thought for us to choose between these two because both are equally sporty. But drawing on the conclusion, I would say the Gixxer is better in terms of handling and is quite nimbler, and the braking is also much better than the FZ. But what FZ excels in is the performance, which I personally like over here. So if you have to ask me to choose between both of them, I would go with the FZ V3 just because it has more performance on tap. If you liked watching this video, please share it and subscribe to Car Vlog India for more such car reviews, bike reviews and auto news updates. This is your host Tarun Kochar signing off. Thank you.